It's midday. A very good afternoon to you and welcome to the City Prime News on 97.3 City FM. The news is live from our studios at number 11 Dr. Martin Loop in Adabraka, Accra. It's also live around the world on citynewsroom.com. I am Hawa Idrisu Mustafa. Coming up, Ghana Immigration Service rounds up over 1,000 street children and their guardians in a major operation in Accra. Meanwhile, some locals welcome the decision to rid the city of these street children.
If I'm working, you come begging. You see, the kiddies is just no try the government do what the government try.
The whole important place to plan. Now woman and from
Also coming up, Ghana Health Service steps up public education on Mpox after detecting 2 cases in Greater Accra.
If those projects were completed, there will be no double track in those schools. So we are recommending to government to complete those projects to improve access to secondary education.
That's Parliament Health Education Committee urging swift action on abandoned project to ease burden on schools in the central region. And later,
we all could attest to the fact that the power, though there are a few hints, largely the power is stable. We have a reliable supply now, and the power is stable within Volta region.
ECG reports significant progress in resolving power supply challenges in Volta region. All that and more on City Prime News, which is live on all our affiliates across the country. In the Western region, we are live on Ajinpa 100.7 in Takwa, Beach FM 105.5 and Premier FM 100.5, both in Takrady. Bono region, Greener FM 95.9 in Sunyani. Ashanti region, Focus FM 94.3 in Kumasi and Orange FM 107.9 also in Kumasi. Volta region, we are live on Revival FM 99.3 in Tajeu, VOV Radio 95.7 in Hohoi. Northern region, we are live on Radio Bimbila 91.9 in Bimbila. Upper East, we are live on Quality FM 88.7 in Garu. Upper West, we are live on Tonsong FM 97.3 in Wa and Japa FM 96.1 in Japa.
City Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Grateful for choosing us. Now, the minority in Parliament has petitioned the Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice charge the Criminal Investigations Department and the Office of the Special Prosecutor to probe Chief Executive of Ghana Gold Board. Let's hear from a professor of law at the University of Ghana, Professor Apieje Etuahene, who says the minority's petition against the acting CEO of Gold Board, Sami Jemfi, could enhance the country's asset declaration regime and overall accountability.
The NPP move will help to know whether, in this case, then it is not just about the doling out of the money, but also where the money came from. And so going to the OSP and charge and so on would enable us to know if such a declaration was made, and if so, that is how we will be able to know if the money was illegally acquired or not. So that is in the context in which I support the NPP move, but not necessarily because they have that moral compass on their side to be able to initiate such moves, because I believe that during their time they did something which was worse than what we are experiencing now under the NDC.
A professor of law at the University of Ghana, Professor Apieje Atua. Now, the Public Services Workers Union of the Trade Union Congress is threatening a nationwide strike if government fails to pay long overdue allowances. According to the union, allowances have not been paid to staff of the Centers for National Culture and other affiliated agencies since the implementation of the single spy pay structure. Addressing journalists, Deputy General Secretary of the union, John Sampa, issued a strong warning to the government urging swift intervention.
Apart from our salaries on the single spine, there is what we call the institution-specific allowance. Government has done well to give other of the institutions that belong to us, but CNC is one of the institutions that we have not yet secured the allowance. And we went on strike, but they asked us to hold on after the election. After the election, we have not, and we are urging the government that it is important we attend to those that don't have any allowance yet on earlier than we go on strike. Because when we delay and we don't give it out, that is what will push the workers to go on the street. But we are looking forward that the new Chief Executive of Fair Wages and the government will address the concerns of the workers before things get out of hands. If nothing is done about it, we will do what we know how to do best.
Deputy General Secretary of the Public Services Workers Union of the Trades Union Congress, John Sampa. President John Dramani Mahama has announced that plans are underway to execute key road infrastructure projects in the Upper West region under the government's Big Push initiative. Speaking at a deba at the Jubilee Park as part of his thank you tour, President Mahama expressed gratitude for the region's overwhelming support in the 2024 elections, assuring constituents that their loyalty would be rewarded with tangible development. He indicated that his government will prioritize the construction of the Wa Tumu Bolgatanga road.
My brothers and sisters, Cabinet will soon approve priority projects under the Big Push infrastructural program. Understandably, a significant number of these priority projects will be in the road sector. These works include the dualization of major highways, including the Accra-Kumasi, Accra-Takrade, Accra-Aflawo roads. We'll also tackle major bridges such as the Dambai Bridge, the Chiamanfrom Bridge, rehabilitation of the Bupe Bridge, Daboya Bridge, and Yape bridges. We're also designing a new expressway between Accra and Kumasi, which will reduce the travel time between the two largest cities in Ghana to about 2.5 hours. During the campaign, we traveled on the terrible road network that has become characteristic of the Upper West region. In this region, under the Big Push, we are prioritizing the Wa Tumu Bolgatanga trunk road.
President Mahama further noted that the region will be a major beneficiary of the Feed Ghana initiative as the government intends to establish small, medium-scale dams in Sisala and Lambushe to accelerate agricultural growth and improve livelihoods for residents.
We're also prioritizing agriculture under the Feed Ghana program. The Upper West region is expected to be a major beneficiary of this program. The NDC administration understands that farming is the lifeblood of this region. And so under the Feed Ghana and Agriculture for Wealth Creation agenda, we will construct and rehabilitate small and medium-scale dams across Sisala, Lambusie, and Wa East. We will invest in community-based irrigation schemes to promote dry season farming, such as the Kamba Irrigation Dam. We'll provide subsidized fertilizer, seeds, and improved mechanization services. Establish modern warehouses and cold storage facilities to reduce post-harvest losses. The region will also benefit from the farmer service centers we intend to set up.
President John Dramani Mahama. Meanwhile, the president is expected to continue his thank you tour in the Greater Accra region later today. Now, let's do one of our headline stories where immigration officers have rounded up over 1,000 street children and their guardians in a major operation in Accra. The exercise took place this morning in Accra, including areas like Kaneshi, Abosuokai, and the Kwame Nkrumah Circle. The street beggars have become a national security threat, drawing the attention of immigration authorities. According to sources within the Ghana Immigration Service, measures are being put in place to repatriate them after their identities are confirmed. Let's listen to a section of the public who spoke to Citi News.
I see the Ghana immigration people is fine, and the government. If you come on, let's come about 4 o'clock or 3. People are plenty here. Anyway, people are plenty. The government is trying to Ghana.
So you want them to be cleared of the streets?
Yeah.
What are some of the things that they've been doing on the street that you don't like?
People, you see, I'm the Uber driver. People are working, you come begging. You see, the kiddies is just small. This is how the government do it. The government try. It tries better to Ghana. So they want more here.
They have become a nuisance in the community, defecating indiscriminately and leaving filth everywhere. They also take over key public spaces, diminishing the value of these areas. It is disturbing when they loiter on the streets and beg from moving vehicles. We fully support the government's initiative to address this issue.
Those were some Ghanaians expressing their support for the ongoing exercise to round up street beggars in parts of Accra. Meanwhile, the persons rounded up have been sent to the headquarters of the Ghana Immigration Service for screening and identification. My colleague Fred Duho is currently at the headquarters of the Ghana Immigration Service to bring us up to speed on today's operation. Fred, good afternoon to you. Thank you for your time. What's the current situation at the Ghana Immigration Office?
Good afternoon, Hawa. Currently, we're waiting for the immigration officials to address the press and give us further details as to what they intend to do moving from here. But what I can say is that when they came in the morning, they erected canopies for them, and also at this moment, the keys have been fed. That is what I saw from a distance, that they have been given some form of branch or lunch, I should tell them. They have been categorized into men, women and children. So the children have been separated from the larger adult group. And we are yet to get the full details, whether after the feeding, they would now proceed to repatriate them. As to when that will happen, we are yet to get those fine details.
Fred, let's come back to earlier on in the morning when this operation started. Tell us, how did the Immigration Service come up with this particular exercise and the reaction to the immigration officers having them being rounded up in pickups?
Well, I should say that the media was also taken by surprise because this was not an information communicated to us in any way. Some of us just chanced on it while moving through town. They started from Kaneshi before 6 a.m. and the central location where they put all of them was the Obichidi Lamte interchange overpass. They were all placed there. Smaller vehicles were taken to town. Officers were in those vehicles. They go and they round the numbers up, bring them to this central location. Then subsequently, a bus comes in to convey them in their hundreds to the headquarters of the Ghana Immigration Service. So it was a smooth operation that was carried out since morning. We understand this was done simultaneously across the city. So when you drive through town, ordinarily, instead of seeing these beggars or illegal migrants on our streets, they are currently non-existent. They are not there at the moment. One of the major stretches you will find them has to do with the road connecting from Circle to the police headquarters. All those places are currently, empty as far as these beggars are concerned. They've been able to clear all of them from the street. How long they are going to sustain this operation, we are yet to get those details from the Immigration Service.
Fred, are these foreign nationals only, or we have Ghanaians part?
One can conclude that these are largely foreigners because the numbers we've seen and trying to even interact with some of them, they can't speak any of our local languages. They can't even express themselves in English. So communication barrier is one critical thing that is happening here. We are waiting to see how the immigration officers are going to maneuver or probably get some people who can speak Hausa or other languages that these people understand so they can probably communicate with them, identify them appropriately, and repatriate them to wherever they came from. So Ghanaians, no, we've not seen or heard anyone speak the Ghanaian language for you to literally identify. No one has raised objection among them saying he or she is a Ghanaian and so cannot be added to these numbers. But we do know for a fact that it's not only foreigners that are on our streets begging. There are other Ghanaians also who have made it their occupation to be on the streets every morning to beg for arms. But the foreigners, they have come to aggravate the situation such that it's become what many say is a national security concern.
But have you cited any of these consul generals or embassies coming over to the Immigration Service headquarters to claim whether these are their nationals?
If anyone from these diplomatic missions should be here, the person would have come straight to the headquarters and engaged with officials. That we have not really set our eyes on, but we are hoping that since we've come to the press conference that is supposed to happen in some few minutes to come, we will get those details as to whether some nationals, in terms of diplomats, have come forward to lay claim to these people and what the arrangements are regarding them. But as of now, we've not really gotten any information whether any country rep from the sub-region, from the continent, or from the world really have come here to lay claim to these nationals.
Fred, thank you so much for your time. We'll come back to you when the Ghana Immigration Service begins their press conference on what next after today's exercise. Thank you so much. That was my colleague Fred Juho. This is still the City Prime News on 97.3 Citi FM. Still ahead, Ghana Health Service steps up public education on Mpox after detecting 2 cases in the Greater Accra region. We have details coming up shortly. Please stay with us.
City Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Calling all farmers, agribusinesses, and innovators, this is your chance to shine. Channel One TV invites you to exhibit at AgriFair 2025, one of Ghana's largest agriculture exhibitions. From Friday 20th to Sunday the 22nd of June, the A4 Sutherland Children's Park in Accra will come alive with the very best from Ghana's agribusiness sector. Are you a farmer with fresh produce of any kind? Be it crops, livestock or poultry, fisheries or aquaculture, or you're a supplier of agro inputs and processing machinery? This is your platform to connect with the world. AgriFair 2025 is more than an exhibition. Showcase your fresh produce, share your expertise and experience, and grow your business. So, to all farmers with fresh produce, livestock or poultry, fisheries or aquaculture products, come, sell, network, and expand your business. AgriFair 2025, where culture meets innovation. Register now to secure your spot. Call us on 0205 973 973. Come one, come all. Enjoy the freshest farm produce at unbeatable prices. And treat yourself to sizzling kebabs made from beef, mutton, pork, chicken, and more. Great taste, great value. Don't miss out. The AgriFair 2025 is powered by Channel One TV with support from 97.3 Citi FM and is proudly sponsored by Exim Bank, Legacy Crop Improvement Center, and Development Bank Ghana.
City Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Thank you so much for staying with us. Now, the Ghana Health Service is urging the public to adhere to COVID-19 hygiene protocols following the confirmation of 2 Mpox cases in the Accra metropolitan area. The service says it is working closely with the Ministry of Health to implement containment measures, including contact tracing, community surveillance, and intensified public awareness campaigns. In an interview with Citi News, Deputy Director of Disease Surveillance at the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Dennis Odai-Laye encouraged the public to remain vigilant, maintain good hygiene, and report suspected symptoms to the nearest health facility.
I think one of the things we've abandoned as a country, which we did so well during the COVID-19 pandemic, was hand hygiene. The use of hand sanitizers and the availability of hand washing facilities in most places. It's a very effective way of preventing these diseases that can easily spread from person to person. And so I'll start with that. And given that this disease condition we're talking about spreads usually when you come into physical contact with the person, direct contact, so skin to skin contact. The WHO has a nomenclature where they say face-to-face contact. And so when you're standing in front of somebody who has the disease and the person is talking to you, the droplets that can be coming out of the mouth, if inhaled, can also actually cause a person to get a disease as well. And so people must first of all understand how this disease is transmitted. And then once we are clear with how it's transmitted, then we can be able to take the necessary measures to prevent it.
Dr. Dennis Odai-Laye is Deputy Director of Surveillance at the Ghana Health Service. Now, fuel prices are expected to drop significantly starting today, May 16. The Chamber of Petroleum Consumers (COPEC) is projecting an 8.3% reduction in diesel, a 4% drop in petrol, and 10% decrease in LPG prices. Head of Research and Training at COPEC, Paul Eric Ofori, gave the prediction on Channel 1 TV's Breakfast Daily, urging oil marketing companies and the Chamber of Oil Marketing Associations to ensure the reductions are reflected at the pumps without delay.
What we are going to witness from today might be quite significant in that we are expecting especially diesel to drop by about 8.3, 8.5%, petrol doing some 4%, and then LPG likewise doing about 10%. In a nutshell, we are looking at diesel dropping by about 1 cedi, at least, minimum. And we want to appeal to the OMCs, just as they respond to increments here and there, where there is a decrease. We want to appeal to them. Why does it take forever for them to reflect same at the pumps? Okay, so I want to use your medium to appeal to OMCs and especially the association itself to bring their members in line to make sure they reduce the prices at the pumps. And I wish that just as they do when it's about to go up, they should do same when it's supposed to go down.
COPEC is further urging the government to revive operations of the Tema Oil Refinery to help cut down on the importation of finished petroleum products.
Let's get TOR running, get the various private refineries also running. Let's cut down importing finished petroleum products onto the market. It is so expensive. We cannot sustain it. That way, we will have a way of reducing the prices internally. Mind you, crude is doing somewhere around 60, 62.
Yeah, dollars per barrel.
Per barrel. If we are to be bringing in more crude, refining, okay, I see no reason why we should be buying petrol and diesel at 15 and 14 cedis and the likes. It's unheard of. Okay, let that political will be there.
Head of Research and Training at the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers, Paul Eric Ofori. The Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG, is set to appear before the Energy Committee of Parliament later today to address concerns over its financial challenges. The Energy Minister, John Jinapor, has highlighted a 2 billion cedis monthly funding deficit in the energy sector, largely due to ECG's revenue collection shortfall. The ECG management is expected to respond to these concerns and other key issues related to the power distribution firm during the session. Here is the chairman of the Energy Committee of Parliament, Emmanuel Bejura, speaking to Citi News on the engagement.
Well, we'll be looking at their work plan, we'll be looking at their visions, we'll be looking at all the problems that we have in the power sector. They are more or less the distributors of power. Currently, we are meeting with the generators, those who generate power. We've met with the transmitters, that's grid code yesterday, and ECG is a final. Everybody looks at ECG for power, for electricity in their homes. So today they should come and tell us what really is the problem. Why are we not getting power in our homes? From look of things, the generators claim that they have enough generating capacity, but the problem has to do with financing. And ECG is the final marketer who sells the product and then pay others from it. So they should come and tell us what their problem is, and then the whole world will know where the problem lies, either with ECG or with the generators or the transmitters.
One of the key concerns within the sector has been the missing containers. Would it pop up in your discussions?
Well, when we get there, we'll know. This committee is to have oversight responsibility of all the department agencies and even the ministry under energy and green transition. And so these are issues that we'll be looking at, some of the issues that we'll be looking at. ECG is one of the institutions that we have oversight responsibility, and therefore whatever is going on there, it should be a concern to us, and so it will come up.
Chairman of the Energy Committee of Parliament, Emmanuel Bejira, speaking to Citi News, says Ni Ayukwi Okai. Meanwhile, the ECG in the Volta region says it has made significant progress in addressing the recent power supply challenges that affected parts of the Volta region. This comes after weeks of persistent outages and low voltage that disrupted daily life and affected businesses. Speaking to Citi News, the Volta Regional Public Relations Officer of the ECG, Eunice Chineboa-Kodia, outlined steps taken to stabilize supply across the region. She noted that while major faults have been rectified, a few isolated cases of low voltage are still being recorded.
We don't work in the power chain, we don't work alone, we work with other people as well. So we engage Gridco because the issue was the whole region and it was coming from upstream. So what we did was to engage Gridco to come to our aid. So we came, they gave us 22nd of last month for them to come and do plant maintenance works for us to have a stable supply. So on the 22nd, the maintenance works were done. And after that, we all could attest to the fact that the power, though there are a few hinges, largely the power is stable. We have a reliable supply now, and the power is stable within Volta region. Adding on to that, we would also want to thank our customers for the patience that they exhibited during our time, this time of crisis that we're having the low voltage issue. Going forward, Volta region, we did an installation of 10 megavolt transformer at the Sogakope BSP, the bulk supply point, where customers from Sogakope, Akachi, Keta would benefit from it, and at the Dome Central would also benefit from this particular transformer that was installed.
Eunice Chineboa-Kodia speaks for the ECG in the Volta region. The Union of Informal Workers Associations is appealing to the Accra Metropolitan Assembly and the Klotikole Municipal Assembly to extend the May 20 deadline for evicting some 5,000 pavement traders in Accra. The union says while it acknowledges the need for urban order, the human toll cannot be ignored, stressing that the affected traders face immense challenges in supporting their families. Describing them as the backbone of the local economy, the association warns that the planned eviction threatens livelihood and gives them little time to relocate or sustain their businesses. It is therefore calling for alternative market spaces, financial support and logistical assistance to help ease the transition. Now, the Parliamentary Select Committee on Education has expressed concern over the high number of abandoned projects in senior high schools across the central region. The projects include dormitories, classroom blocks, assembly halls and administrative buildings, many of which have stalled for years. Speaking to Citi News, chairman of the committee, Peter Nochu Kotoi, urged the government to take urgent steps to management and improve conditions for students.
For secondary schools, on our rounds, we've discovered that there are a lot of abandoned projects in the various secondary schools. Dormitories, classrooms, assembly hall, and poor furniture. So we are appealing to government that government should make sure that they complete all these projects to enable us eliminate the double track. Because some of the schools we went, if those projects were completed, there will be no double track in those schools. So we are recommending to government to complete those projects to improve access to secondary education. And for the private universities, I think government, as they are requesting, they import a lot of equipment. So government should support them in a way by maybe reducing the tariff or the duty that they pay on imported equipment so that they can have enough resources. We're going to amend the law so that that law which says that by December, if you did not charter, you have your university closed down, will not be part of the law as it exists now.
Chairman of the Parliamentary Select Committee on Education, Peter Nochu Kotoi. And that's it for today's edition of the City Prime News, which has been live from our studios in Adabraka in Accra. Please log on to citynewsroom.com for more stories. I am Hawa Idrisu Mustafa. Do have a great afternoon.
City News. We speak first. Reach our hotline on 0302 224959 and get interactive on Facebook, City 97.3 FM, and on Twitter at City 973.